Okay, so let's just dive right in. We're talking about one of literature's most iconic and, let's be real, most chaotic power couples, Mary and Percy Shelley. Their story isn't just a romance. Oh no, it's this brilliant and often brutal conversation between two minds that literally shaped an entire era. You can think of it like a three-act play: fascination, then repudiation, and finally, redemption.
And this quote from Mary? It really says everything, doesn't it? It's kind of the key that unlocks their whole story. Theirs was a love forged in scandal and genius, one that reached for ideals so high they often just shattered on contact with reality. A terrible love, for sure, but also a profound and world-changing one.
So let's set the scene, right? Picture 16-year-old Mary Godwin. Now, she's not just any teenager. She's the daughter of these incredible radical thinkers, Mary Wollstonecraft and William Godwin. Her entire world is built on books, philosophy, debate, and then into this world walks Percy Bysshe Shelley. He's charismatic, rebellious, brilliant, a poet, and a disciple of her own father's work. Oh, and he's also inconveniently married.
And look at the sheer velocity of their union. I mean, this was not a slow burn. In the summer of 1814, they declare their love at Mary's mother's grave. I mean, you can't get more romantic than that. A single month later, they've eloped to Europe, leaving everything and everyone, including Percy's first wife, behind. By September, they're back in London, totally broke, pregnant, and completely cut off by her own father. It was a complete and total break from the world they knew.
And you can really see Percy's perspective in his own words here. For him, their love was like a higher law, a meeting of spirits that went way beyond boring things like, say, existing marriages or what society thought. He saw Mary's sacrifice as proof that they were exceptional. She has resigned all for me. And he wasn't wrong. She had. And that one act of resignation would pretty much define the rest of her life.
So that brings us to the second act of their story, repudiation. Now, this isn't a simple breakup or rejection. It's more like an intellectual wrestling match. As they're living this chaotic life together, Mary starts to form this incredibly powerful critique of Percy's entire worldview. And what was her weapon of choice? A little novel she started writing as a teenager, Frankenstein. It is so much more than a monster story. It's Mary's direct answer to Percy. This right here really gets to the heart of their big intellectual divide. Percy was all about the solitary, rebellious genius, this romantic fallen hero who was going to remake the world through sheer force of will, no matter what it cost. But Mary, in Frankenstein, she gives this stunning rebuttal. She argues against that exact idea, showing how that kind of ambition, when it's isolated from community and from, love and family, well, it doesn't lead to glory. It leads to monstrosity.
So here's the bottom line. Frankenstein is a profound and a deeply personal reprimand. It's basically Mary looking at her bright, Hellenized lover and his whole circle of brilliant, chaotic friends and saying, hey, your ideals, they're dangerous. She crafted this incredible cautionary tale about what happens when men, in their sort of patriarchal delusion, try to create life without connection, without sympathy, without the very domesticity they so often look down on. But pretty soon, their intellectual debates were just horrifically overshadowed by reality. Their life together, especially their time in Italy, it became less of a philosophical discussion and more of a crucible of grief. This period was nothing short of a tempest, just a relentless storm of personal loss that would test them to their absolute limits. Just look at this timeline. It's absolutely staggering. In the span of only 7 years, Mary loses 3 children, suffers a miscarriage that almost kills her, and then, at just 24 years old, she loses her husband. Percy drowns in a storm at sea. And just like that, she's a widow, a single mother, and the sole keeper of their incredibly complicated story. And her words here, they just convey a kind of desolation that's hard to even wrap your head around. After all the scandal, all the intellectual sparring, and all the shared grief, she was well and truly alone. The central sun of her universe had been extinguished, and she was just left in the cold and the dark, trying to figure out what could possibly come next. And this is what brings us to the final and maybe the most fascinating act, the widow's work. It's all about the redemption of a legacy. But here's the twist. It's not her redemption, it's Percy's. Mary, the young widow, dedicates the entire rest of her life to one single monumental task, securing her radical, controversial husband's place in the literary pantheon. She would become the architect of his immortality. And what she pulled off was nothing short of a masterclass in literary strategy. She supported herself and her son by becoming a professional author. She hunted down every last one of Percy's scattered and unpublished works. But most importantly, she made a very deliberate choice. She edited and framed his work to soften all those radical edges, really emphasizing the beautiful lyricist over the atheist revolutionary. She knew that the conservative Victorian audience wouldn't accept the real Percy, so she gave them one they could love.
And if you ever need a symbol for her undying, complicated devotion, this is it. You see, Percy's friend actually snatched his heart from the funeral pyre on the Italian beach where his body was cremated. He gave it to Mary. And for 3 decades, until the day she died, she kept it with her. A terrible love is still love.
So we're left with this question, aren't we? Their legacies are completely, totally inseparable. He provided the raw, brilliant, chaotic material, but she was the one who curated it, who shaped it, and who ultimately made sure it would survive. It's the final turn in their incredible dialectic, leaving us to wonder about the nature of love and art and what it truly means to build a legacy.